Alright, I want to get this video out before it gets too dark. I saw this video about honesty on the internet. I think one of my subscribers and friends saw the video and rated it, and so I noticed. And so I read it, and he wanted to talk about, whether you're honest, and if you have a different persona online, or your YouTube channel, or with your friends, or with your family, and or your significant other. So here's my take on it. A relationship is a two-way street, right? It's got to have two people in it in order to be a relationship. Certainly you can have a relationship with yourself, but that's not what we're talking about. So, in order to have a relationship, you have to have another person, right? A two-party relationship. And I find that, or I feel that you act differently per person in that relationship, right? So with your family, your mom and dad, you're, it's not that you're dishonest or you're a fake person. It's just that certain parts of your personality are triggered by their personality. Okay, so like a cause and effect sort of situation. Sorry, my rabbit is making tons of noise at my feet. And we all try to be as honest as we can without being terribly hurtful. You don't need to be honest to the point that it's going to hurt somebody. Because why? Because then there's some deception in that, right? That deception is that you're trying to be so honest, and righteous and running that right path. That's the platform you're standing on. But ultimately, really what you're trying to do is just be ugly. Just be ugly to that person, whoever it is that you're going to be ultimately honest with. Unless it's going to be helpful to them, I don't see the point in being honest. To that extent. You can be honest, but you don't have to be honest to the point that it hurts them. But you don't want to be dishonest that it's going to cause them hurt either. So you have to be in that gray area. You've got to walk the path in the middle. And that doesn't mean to be deceptive. It doesn't mean you have to lie in order to spare them. I think that in every statement you can make, in every conversation you can have, in everything that you express, that there's truth in it. I think there's truth even in a lie. I think even, those people that fight and they say mean, ugly things and call people names and stuff like that. Like, even in those situations, there's some truth to that. They didn't come up with those names and those feelings from nowhere. They can't just say, oh, well, I just said it in the heat of the moment. Well, that's deceiving. That's deceptive. Because there's something inside of those words. There's something underlying inside those words. So maybe you didn't mean it to that person. Maybe there's somebody else that you would rather call those mean, ugly things to. So that's the truth in it. Or maybe it's, it's how you feel about that person, maybe times 10 because of the heat of the moment. So I think that you cannot be the same person to every other person. That not everybody can see you in exactly the same light. That there is a base core to every person, and that everybody should be able to see that. And if they can't, say they can't see that, then yes, then you're being deceptive. If everybody who's interacted with you for more than 15 minutes can't come up with the same 3 things to say about you, then I think yeah, you are a deceptive person and you're not being honest to yourself or to others. But if they can, then that's fine. If it's only the top 3 things that they come up with are the same. And then after that, someone finds you to be extremely helpful because you know more about them. And then someone else finds you to be completely adoring because you adore somebody else because they know more than you do. So that's going to be a different relationship, right? And it doesn't mean you're dishonest just because you're knowledged in this one aspect and you give lots of information to the other person and you're not knowledged in another aspect, so you ask a lot of questions to that person. And so comes the interaction, all in terms of the energy that people give off, the energy you give off, and the way the relationship is built. So you have a foundation, and once you build upon that foundation, hopefully you can have a good and healthy, honest relationship. So I hope that makes sense. And I'm sorry for everybody who wants to see makeup and that sort of stuff. But I don't know, I guess I felt like I needed to answer that, especially with the whole idea about makeup, being deceptive. And he didn't touch upon that. But obviously because I like it so much and I use it so much and he was wearing some, I thought I would bring that up. I also have a question to him, and that's what I'm going to leave this with. where does your honesty and dishonesty lie? You never talked about yourself. Like, I tried to, and I hope I just did, explain to you how I feel I perceive my own honesty and what I have to give out to others. But how about you? What is your true honesty? Are you being honest? Is the person that we saw sitting in that chair, smoking that cigarette, talking to us, truly who you are? I don't know. I hope you answer. Bye for now.